friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today I had kind of a little impromptu pickups video I wanted to do. Occasionally, I did one of these last summer as I was, when I bought my PlayStation 2 and I showed a variety of the PS2 and a couple of PS1 games that I'd bought. And many people know I'm looking forward to getting a regular Xbox and, possibly some Sega systems and a Panasonic 3DO and a Super NES again. I'm really looking forward to it. So my mindset has been on looking for things. I've been looking a little bit on eBay just to get an idea for the pricing, to see the availability. It looks good. It looks like you're able to find a lot of these consoles. And I've mentioned before I regretted getting rid of my PlayStation 1, my PlayStation 2, and my regular Xbox in particular. And I get rid of all three of them in working order and mint condition. And I felt bad about that. So I've been looking to find other ones. And occasionally my little mom and pop store, Dimples, has them for sale. For usually about $40. You can pick up a PS1 or an Xbox. Well, we were running some errands yesterday. We pulled out of our driveway and we saw that our neighbor 2 doors over within our cul-de-sac had a yard sale. So I said, wife saw a little table, or a shelving unit that she wanted for the garage to put by her washer and dryer with all her laundry things on it. And she goes, well, why don't you stay here? I'm going to go over there just for a couple of minutes and just see if there's anything that I can pick up. Because we like to hit yard sales. Usually on Saturday or Sunday morning, people will have their items in their driveway for sale. And you go and you find old DVDs and books and some cool old beer signs and mirrors and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. But I haven't been to one, God, since last summer was the last time I went to one. And so if my wife came back and goes, hey, I think they have a plate of PS1 there for sale. It looks like they had a bunch of DVDs and stuff. You might want to go over and check it out. So I immediately walked over there and introduced myself and said hi. And I actually came to find out some bad news. My neighbor 2 doors down, he's a little older than I am. He had a brain tumor and died right after Christmas. We had seen the fire trucks and paramedics for a couple weeks in a row off and on coming. And I didn't want to be too nosy, but I noticed it. I didn't know what was going on. We knew there was someone there with health issues, but I didn't know how old they were. I never met them. We have a common mailbox. We wave and say hi and things like that. But I felt really bad. This woman was very close with her husband. A lot like I am with my wife, kind of do everything together. And she's going to be forced to sell the house now and move into a small apartment. So it was really kind of a tragedy. And I hate going through people's things when there's a hardship, but we went through, my wife found we needed a hand truck to load stuff in and out, which we needed, and got it for like $5, and she got this nice little shelving unit for the garage for about $5. So I looked and I saw, and his son was there as well, really nice guy, and come to find out he was a gamer. Him and I hit it off. We talked back and forth, and we talked about his dad passing, and how short life is and all that, and I just talked about that recently in a recent rant, that you just, we're only guaranteed today. None of us know, what tomorrow brings. We could die, get in a car accident, have health issues, anything can happen. So one of the reasons why I like to live in the moment and be happy and live each day like it's your last, because you just really never know. So, but I had a nice uplifting talk. I gave my condolences about his dad passing, and certainly to the wife that was there running the yard sale. But he had a PS1 there. He had like 2 or 3 games out that he brought over to sell. He was bringing a few things over to sell for the yard sale himself. I go, well, how much do you want for the PS1? And he goes, oh, dude, give me $10 for it. You can have it. I go, really? And it works great and everything. I opened it up. He didn't know it had it inside, but it had Final Doom was inside it, which I've always wanted. I had Doom 1 and 2, but I'd never played the Final Doom, which I think has more gore, a little bit more. It has kind of the best of both of those Dooms, but it's a little bit more hardcore, and it's supposed to be a little bit more difficult too. So I was excited about that. Oh, this is great! I love the. Oh yeah, you can have that game with it. Don't worry about it, dude. And I was there. The mother said, "Well, my husband actually has a big video game collection. I didn't bring it out because I kind of want someone. I wanted to give it to someone or sell it to someone where it has some meaning to them, because he loved it, gaming, and he had a bunch of little game room and a movie room with all his DVDs. So would you like to have a look at it? And I said, well, yeah, I'd love to see it if you don't mind. So I went back there and looked, and they had a lot of DVDs. I had most of the DVDs that there were, although I actually got some. But he had a little cabinet, and it had a lot of PS1 and PS2 games. Most of the PS2 games I either already have or I wasn't really interested in, but a lot of good PS1 gems and quite a few original Nintendo system games. They probably accounted close to 30 of them, but they were missing the original boxes, but they were little plastic clamshells and looked nice. I didn't know too much about them. I didn't know what they were worth, so I passed on the regular Nintendo games. If they had Super NES games, I would have been all over that. But I went through and picked. I didn't know what she'd want for the game, so I'm looking. I'm just like, oh, I definitely want this. I go, oh my God, they've got this one and that one, and I went through and picked out a bunch of them. And then at the end of the, when we went outside, I carried out the games. I didn't know, gosh, she's going to want $100 for all these, or I don't know what. I knew that the PS1 was cheap. Look at the PS1. I mean, perfect condition for $10. With a nice controller and everything. I mean, really a great deal. Very happy to find this. Even has the memory card on it. So now I've got my PS1 back. Even if I don't use it because I play my PlayStation 1 games on my PS2, it's just nice to have it. I love just seeing the industrial design of it. This console had so many wonderful memories. I just love the look of this thing. When I first fired it up, I get all excited when I see the little PlayStation logo appear on the screen and the sound effects and everything. And so I'm delighted to have this. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm working now that I have this and I see the other consoles coming. I'm going to have a bookshelf on my other wall here by my door. And I think I'm going to have all my consoles and a lot of my games in there. So I'm in the process of going on Craigslist or what have you and looking for a nice big black bookshelf which I can display all my retro consoles and what have you. So I'm excited. That's kind of my goal for the year. But this got me off to a great start. I've been looking anxiously for some more tall boxes. So I thought I'd take a couple minutes and just show you this pickup video. I felt bad for what happened with the woman and her husband. It left me with a somber feeling that life is short when I left. I really had an appreciation, not so much for my life, but even for the games that I got. I really appreciated that, knowing that it meant something to this fellow. And he'd taken good care of them, all organized. A few of them he had bought used that were missing the original booklets and cases, but most of them had the cases. So I'll show you what I got. Now, when I got my PlayStation 1 in 1995, one of the first 3 games I got was Agile Warrior in this exact box, and it actually had an old sticker on here from when he first bought it in the 90s, and it was like cemented on there. I used that rubber cement thinner and soaked it. It came right off. It didn't leave any adhesive, and it's amazing. It looks like brand new. It even has the original foam inside. I was delighted. A perfect disc. The original booklet even has a little piece of paper with all the codes to unlock all the stuff inside, the cheat codes and stuff. Very cool. I love this game. This is in fact, one of my intros actually has a little, some gameplay from Agile Warrior on it. This is a fantastic game. I love this game. I don't know if this was on the Panasonic 3DO or not, but this is one of my favorite games, and one of the first ones I bought. One of my favorite military jets is the F-111 bomber, which is my favorite bomber. I've seen a lot of really interesting footage on the History Channel and stuff like that on that plane. It's a great plane. So I go, oh my God, it brought back so many memories seeing this tall box. I couldn't tell you how excited that I was. And I also, not long after I got that, I had this exact game, the original PlayStation Destruction Derby. Now I had Destruction Derby 1 and 2. This is the original tall box. The same deal, and I'm so excited to play this. This was an amazing game. Reflections did this. I remember this game very, very well. I loved it. It was one of the first games that actually showed vehicle damage, and fairly realistic for its time, on the PS1, and I love this. So I go, oh man, this is awesome. So it's like a dream come true. I had forgotten about the Destruction Derby games until I saw Steve Benway, I think, did some stuff recently on them, and I watched some of his gameplay on Destruction Derby and realized, man, I forgot all about that. So I was delighted with that. Now I'll show you, he had some of them that didn't have, these were used games he bought in good shape, like other yard sales and stuff, but they were missing the original case and booklet. But this was a motherlode. I was very delighted to find this, and I played for 2 hours last night. Alien Trilogy. I love this game. Now, I'm going to have to get another one on. It has in perfect condition, the disc, but I'm going to have to get another one with the original case and booklet because the game means so much to me. I love this. There's another Alien game that I played on the PS1. Aliens or something else. It was one of the other ones, and I liked it. I think it was Aliens. And I liked it. Also in the C64 I had Aliens, which was just tough as nails, and I loved it. But I love the Alien Trilogy. I had a blast last night. The music got me all pumped up last night, listening to this all over again. I kept showing my wife, and she remembered the game. I remembered how I was filming the gameplay with my VCR at the time. This is a real treat.
I would pay $40 alone just for this. Anyway, I got all of this stuff for $40, believe it or not. And my friends that follow me on Twitter and Facebook saw that. I put one picture on Twitter and one picture on Facebook and mentioned how I scored and was going, talking to my friends in the comments. So my friends kind of know this video is coming. One of my friends, Bobby, said, "Dean, you should do a little pickups video." I go, "Oh, I will. Thanks for the idea." Final Doom, which is actually inside the PS1 at the time. This is awesome. I can't wait to play this. I love Doom. Doom was a huge influence on me early on. And the original Duke Nukem 3D, which I had on the PS1 as well. Mech Warrior 2, I actually put this in for a little bit and played it last night. The graphics are very dated. It's kind of hard in some games to go back and play them. Now, I had never played this before, but it actually looks and plays pretty good. It's a pretty cool game for mechs. Like I just mentioned Titanfall. God, for the love of God, I wish they'd have some, a single-player campaign, because I actually like the whole mech thing. I'd like to get some more mech games. If you know of any good ones you can recommend, because I've been kind of out of the loop with the Xbox 360 or PS3, go ahead and recommend them in the comments, because I'd love to know. Dino Crisis. Now, this was a game that I played at a friend's house. I never owned this game, but I love this game. I was delighted to see this. He had these nice little cases in them, and the discs were in perfect condition. I think there were like 2 discs that had a couple light scratches, but for the most part, they're in good shape. He had a driver also. Someone wrote on the disc, but this is a huge game. Now, this is a game I'm going to rebuy to have the original box, and I'm also going to get Driver 2. With the original case and box, and he had the booklet for it. It's just missing the original case. Destruction Derby 2, another wonderful game, a substantial improvement over Destruction Derby 1. I was very happy to find this. So at least I can play these games until I get the original boxes. All of these games were very, very important to me at the time. I had forgotten. I mean, I'll have to go through like a Wikipedia thing on all the PS1 games, because I had tons of them over time, and I had forgotten quite a few of them. And then when I saw them, I go, oh my God. Now, I just watched Steve Benway did a wonderful Panasonic 3DO gameplay, which I watched a couple weeks ago, of Shockwave Assault, which they also, many of the Panasonic 3DO games were also ported over to the PS1 shortly after, and this is one of them. I love this. It had these, those FM, what do they call it, those full motion animation scenes, FMA or whatever they call them, scenes in it, where they have like videotape footage of characters and actors, and it kind of segues nicely into the gameplay. That was the big thing, and one of the things I loved about the Panasonic 3DO early on. So, excuse me, Shockwave Assault is a great game. I love this, and I had this in the original box as well. This is one I may have to rebuy again. There's an empty extra case that came with it. Then, luckily, there were some that were in the original cases. Now, everyone knows I love the Grand Theft Auto series, but I never played Grand Theft Auto 1 or 2. Well, what do they have? And I've never seen one of these ever. I've been at Dimples, and I've looked for this. I've never seen one. They have a special edition director's cut of Grand Theft Auto. And it also has Grand Theft Auto in GTA London, 1989. So this is going to be very, very cool. I can't wait to play this. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun looking at the back, the pictures of it. So, and this is in excellent condition as well. So I was delighted to see this. One of my favorites. Now, they didn't have the first one, but I love the second one just as much. GTA 2, Gran Turismo 2, in excellent condition. Unfortunately, there were a couple cracks on the case, but it has the original booklet in it. It's a fantastic game. Still has a sticker on the back I got to peel off. But very, very good game. I love this. I put a tremendous amount of time. When I had my accident, this was the game that I played. This was the GTA game. I had stopped playing GTA 1. Not GTA, Gran Turismo 1, and played a lot of Gran Turismo 2. Siphon Filter. I remember playing the original demo for the PlayStation. Back then, when you got the PlayStation, I had that PlayStation magazine, they would include a disc once in a while. It would have like 4 or 5 demo games. Well, Siphon Filter 1 was one of the demo games, and I was blown away with the immersion and the fun and the platforming and the shooting and everything. So I was delighted to find this. Siphon Filter 2, it's on 2 discs. A fantastic game. I love the first one too. I'm going to have to get the first one. I had completely forgotten about Siphon Filter. These were great memories. All-nighters on the couch in the old days. Back in the mid-90s, like 95 to 97 in there, I played that. And there's more.
the wonderful game Gex. This is one of my favorite gems. I don't know what it is about this arcade game, but I've always loved this Gex game. I had this back in the 90s. Steve Benway just did a wonderful, I think it was a Panasonic 3DO gameplay of this Gex game. And I was really intrigued. And I go, oh man, I've got to get that back for the PlayStation again. So again, I would have probably paid $40 just for this because it brings back so much nostalgia and memories of the old days. So I'm going to play, this is what I'm going to play tonight. I can't wait to play Gex. And I told my wife, I said, finally, some great games and platformers that you can get into, and I've got them right here. So I went and I hooked my PS2 last night up to my big 46-inch Samsung so I can play those all over again. Need for Speed 2. Now, I had the original one in the tall box for the, what was it? Yeah, in the tall box for the PlayStation 1. And initially that was from the 3DO and they ported it over to the PlayStation for the PSX. But the Need for Speed 2, I played a tremendous amount of this. I love the first one, I love the second one, and I love 3 Hot Pursuit, or is it High Stakes? Maybe it's High Stakes. The Need for Speed 3 one is good. So I'm going to get Need for Speed 3. I'm going to probably get that off from eBay. But I was delighted to find this. You had a lot of great supercars. The graphics were nicely improved over the first Need for Speed game. So I was delighted with that. Many of my friends have been raving and raving, oh, Dean, you got to play Metal Gear Solid. Well, he had a perfect copy of Metal Gear Solid. The box is a little scuffed up on the surface, but the disc is in great shape. So finally, this is a Metal Gear Solid, the VR missions, whatever that is. I'll have to do some research on it. So I don't know if this is the first one or a couple games into it, but believe it or not, I played the Siphon Filters and so many other wonderful shooters and games, but I never played this wonderful stealth game, Metal Gear Solid. So this is a real treat. Oh, I love this game, Jet Moto 2. Now, the first one that had the wonderful kind of the surfing music, Dick Dale or whoever it was, did all that really cool guitar surfing music of the 60s. The first Jet Moto, and I had Jet Moto 1 and 2, my wife and I, along with Twisted Metal 1 and 2, played a tremendous amount of this. I cannot wait to play this. This is exciting. Why the hell they don't make a modern version of this like Road Rash is beyond me. You know this game would be awesome. I would love to see a remake, a reboot of this. Sony needs to get it together, man. They come up with some of these old classics from the 90s and redo them today. You know they would be sellers. You know there'd be a big retro vibe, and a lot of people would jump on it. So I can't wait to play. This is a perfect copy of this. You know, it's a greatest hits one, but who cares? I'm excited. More greatest hit one here is the original Tomb Raider. Now this I played and loved. I had the other original box, but I love Tomb Raider 1 and 2. Unfortunately, they didn't have Tomb Raider 2, but they had the first one. I cannot wait to play this again. This is going to bring back so many memories. I'm so excited about this. And they also had a perfect original condition box and in great shape of Tomb Raider 3. Now, this is the only one that I haven't played of the old ones. I played 1 and 2, but I never played 3, so I'm dying to play this. That's going to be exciting. And then they had one Sega Dreamcast game. I think maybe he picked it up at a yard sale and just kept it because he could. At first I thought it was a PS1 game. Then I saw, oh, it says Sega Dreamcast. But it's the old Greatest Hits Midway Classics arcades. Well, knowing that I'm probably going to get a Dreamcast anyway this year and or a Wii, I said I'm going to go ahead and get this one because it has all my favorite game systems that I played in the arcades on it. So this will give me a little incentive to get that Dreamcast. So anyway, that's not all. There were a couple of PlayStation 2 games. They had more. And I didn't know what she was going to ask for all these. I had a huge pile of these games. I go, I better put some of them back because I don't know if she's going to want $60. I only had a few bucks in my pocket. I didn't know how much it was all going to be. So I actually put a lot of games back. Now I'm thinking of going back over it. And I said she's going to have another yard sale in a couple of weeks, and I'll get more into that. But I got Gran Turismo 3. I played this last night. I had completely forgotten. Now, I knew I played Gran Turismo 1 and 2, but I had forgotten all about 3. This brought back tons of memories, driving the Viper, which I drove again last night. The graphics amazingly look good. Made by the same company, made the new, GT, Gran Turismo 5 and 6. A wonderful game. The music, the menus, everything brought back wonderful memories. The early rally racing, everything. This was a real gem. I was very delighted to find this and completely forgot about it. And then I got one of my favorite games, which I also have installed in my PC, is the original Red Faction. Now the Red Faction 2 I like almost equally. It's a little bit different, and it's pretty good too, but this is an amazing game. I also have this installed, yeah, I got this off the PlayStation Network from my PS3 as well. I love this game. This is one of the most immersive, wonderful game, instructable environments. Very, very cool. This has a special place in my heart. You want to see a really wonderful review? I think it's in 2 parts. Watch Mark Bussler of Classic Game Room did a great 2-part review of Red Faction. It's one of my favorite reviews of his. One of the first reviews I saw of his early on. So if you think that, so that's not all. Then I looked through the videos, which I had most of, and I just did a very quick cursory. I'm already in there forever, and I'm like, oh, I got to get out of here. My wife is probably wondering where the hell I am in someone's back room in a house. When you can see that, you know, the poor fellow had passed away, and she's packing everything up to move. I felt devastated, so I tried to get out of there quickly. Again, she said, look, Adina, you can come back. There's more games here. You can come back anytime. He said, I'd rather see these games go to a good home. This collection meant a lot to my husband. And she's got more games. She's going to find all the other ones from other systems and stuff. They're like pack rats. They have tons of stuff in their house and garage. And unfortunately, she's going through everything. It's a tough time. I just want to get out of there. I didn't feel comfortable being there. But I've always wanted this. She had the steel case Band of Brothers full DVD set, which now they have this at my mom and pop, my little video store, but it's expensive. Even used for the cardboard box, it's like $60. It's expensive. So she gave me this, the PlayStation 1, all the PS1 games, the one Sega Dreamcast game, and the 2 PlayStation 2 games, all for $40. I felt bad, honestly. In fact, I gave her $50 beyond, but that's what she said. No, just $40 is fine. $50 with the hand truck and then with the other deal. So it worked out good. But all of this stuff for $40, I was really delighted to have it. And then when we were leaving, my wife said, when we were walking back to the house, she goes, "Oh, the garage. She's going to go through that next." She goes, "That's packed to the gills." And the guy apparently was a Star Wars and Star Trek collector. And I go, "Oh, really?" So she's gonna have us over soon. It wasn't the time for it yesterday, and I want to go through all the Star Wars stuff and see what they has. He also has an enormous Hot Wheel collection. Now the Hot Wheel collection, they know it's worth a lot of money. She's going to put that stuff on eBay, and you honestly can't blame her. I don't have room for Hot Wheel tracks. I had all that stuff. I had a massive Hot Wheel setup in cars. In fact, I had cars from the original 1968 lineup of Hot Wheels, and I got rid of all of them. They're probably worth a fortune. I went to look at my favorite one online. It's over $100 used, all scratched up. So they're going for big bucks. But the Star Wars stuff, she promised me she'd give me first dibs of that. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see what she has for sale. Again, I feel bad. I have mixed feelings about taking advantage of someone else's misfortunes. But she's at the point she just wants to get rid of all of it. She wants to streamline her life and start over. It was hard for me to pull these things away from her cabinet. And I could go back and get a few more games than I will. She's going to see what other games she has. She has her own gaming collection as well. So I felt bad that the guy passed away. But the son was wonderful. We talked about games. He's playing the new Black Flag Assassin's Creed game right now. We were sharing that. I told him about Far Cry 3. So if you like that and the crafting and everything else, you'll love the Far Cry 3. So he's going to play that soon. So this was a very impromptu video, but I was real surprised and just delighted to have these. I just wanted to share this with you. I was very excited. I rarely ever come across these kind of a good deal like this. This is kind of few and far between. But like I said before, if you stay focused on what you want in life, you can't be too surprised if you bump into the right person, or if you stay focused on it, that a deal will come around. Sometimes it's over the internet, or you'll see someone at a yard sale or a car boot sale, as they call them over in the UK. Of wonderful deals like this, and it's so nice to give these games a good home. She had like double what I have here, but the other ones I weren't very familiar with. There are a lot of sports games and ones that I didn't like, or ones that I had that I wasn't crazy about. So these are ones that meant a lot to me. I just wanted to share these with you. So thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your games, retro or otherwise, and have a great time.